G'day folks, just a very quick video for my Year 12 standard guys who are doing simple and compound interest. So we saw the formula for compound interest just before you left me or we left each other, and that was that the future value of an investment was equal to the present value times 1 plus r to the power of n. And I gave you another way to write that, where A, in other words, the amount that an investment was worth at the end, was equal to the principal, that's the main amount invested, or the present value, same thing. So A and FV are different ways of saying exactly the same thing, outside of 1 plus R to the power of N. That's for compounding interest. So what's compounding interest? Compounding interest, let's say, here you are at the beginning of a long investment, and you put in, we'll use nice round numbers so that it makes sense. We put in $1,000 that earns 10% interest per year. Okay. So if I put in $1,000 at the very beginning, and after 1 year it's earned 10% interest, how much has it earned? Well, 10% of $1,000 is $100. So my $1,000 is now $1,100. I earned $100 of interest in that first year. Well, in the second year, I'm going to earn 10%. But what do I earn 10% of? Do I earn 10% of 1,000 or 10% of 1,100? With compound interest, I earn 10% of $1,100. So in my first year, I invested $1,000 at 10%, and it was in there for 1 year. Okay, I end up with $1,100. But if I was going to do that for 2 years, well, in the second year, I'm investing $1,100. Right? So the formula takes care of that for us. We don't have to work out every individual year. The formula will take care of that for us. If we put a 2 up there, then it's not going to grow by another $100 in the next year. It's going to grow, well, I'll leave you guys to work that out. It's going to grow by more than $100 because we're getting interest on the interest that we've already earned. And in the third year, well, then we get interest on the interest that we've earned plus interest on the interest that we've earned. And in the fourth year, well, that happens 3 times. In the fifth year, it happens, etc., so on and so forth. Simple interest is the one you learnt about in years 9 and 10. Okay, simple interest uses this formula here: I equals PRN. I is the interest that you're earning. P is the principal amount you're investing, so the bit of money you put up front. R is the interest rate. And N is the number of terms it's in there for. R follows the same rules as it does over here. So it's got to be a decimal or a percent or a fraction. Sorry, it can't be a percentage. So if they say the interest is 10%, well, you've got to write that as a fraction or a decimal. You don't put 10 in there. You put 10 over 100 or 0.1. And N is the same deal. It's the number of periods that we're in there for. The thing about simple interest is that you get the same amount of interest every single period. So you don't get interest on your interest with simple interest. So a simple interest graph will, let's say here's the amount you invested, it will go up in a straight line, okay, because it goes up by the same amount each time. But a compound interest graph, well, you keep on earning interest on your interest. So it doesn't go up in a straight line. It goes up in what's called an exponential curve, a curve that gets steeper and steeper and steeper with time. If you're just looking at a compound interest investment over 3, 4, 5 years, you'd barely notice that sort of exponential growth in the curve, unless it's a big interest rate. But it's hard to notice that with just a few years of an investment. But if you look at an investment that goes over a number of years, then you'll see that exponential growth. You'll see that each period the interest gets bigger, it gets much bigger and much bigger. Okay? I uploaded an Excel spreadsheet onto our Microsoft Teams page where you can go and you can put in different numbers, both for simple and compounding interest, and see the difference that you get. I copied one of them down for 1,000 rows and the other one down for about 10,000 rows. Anyway, there's lots and lots of rows there, so you can experiment with bigger amounts of money and longer periods of time and things like that. Don't just sit there and have a play with it. The idea is that you get in there, put some numbers in, see what happens, then use that to help you do exercise 3B in the Cambridge Year 12 Standard 2 textbook. Guys, let me know if there's anything I can help you out with. I'll be in touch very, very soon. Take care.